Yo guys, what's going on? It's D Fantasy here, back with another video. And today I got my buddy here, David. What's going on, David?
Yeah, I'm doing good, doing good.
He just got top three with his evil twin Unchained deck, and we just wanted to showcase the deck profile you. I think it was 24 players, I believe it was, David.
Yeah, 24 players.
So he got third place out of 24 at a box tourney at our locals. So I'm gonna let David take it away. All right, buddy, off to you, man.
All right, thanks. Yeah, so I ran Live Twins Unchained for this tournament. I have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a while actually, since COVID. So this is one of the decks that when I did come back, it really interested me. For Swiss rounds, it was 4 rounds. I went X1. I played against Virtual World, Heroes, BAs, and then the last round was against who was it? It was against Prank Kids. After that, I got into 8th seed for top 8, and then I played against Grand Maju. Went to game 3, and then top 4 I played against the same Virtual World, which I lost to, and then lost in game 3. I think it was just more due to me misplaying. So yeah, I'll go into the deck list. Starting off, I have 3 Kisa Kill, 3 Leela. These are basically your starters for the deck. It lets you extend really hard if it goes live, because of the combo potential it has. And usually you just want to have this just normal summon and then go for your combo. So for example, if you have Kisa Kill, you summon the Leela. If you have Leela, you special summon Kisa Kill. You never really resolve the other effects. The main thing is just special summoning for the free body.
Okay.
Yeah. The next card I have is Kisa Kill Frost. Frost is a small extender you have just in case you do get Ash, because ashing the live twin is pretty often. So you can, if you have a Leela on field, then you can special summon it. And then the other effect, which is really nice, is that if you have an evil twin on the field, if your opponent adds a card via Rhoda or just any card from deck to hand, you can banish to draw 1 card. So it acts kind of like a little a pseudo maxi in a sense. So you can get free extenders from there.
Okay.
I made a little meta call, and so I got Radiant, the Kaiju. And this is just because in the current format right now, from what I've seen, a lot of decks aren't going full comboing, and they're not making huge boards as we've seen in the past. So it's better to actually look for 1 card spot removal to remove the most problematic card. This resolved a few times for me when I was playing against Prank Kids, for example, so they couldn't keep tagging out. So I just Kaiju'd them, and I can go full combo from there. So it's been really nice. Also, it's a fiend, so it doesn't get messed up by the restriction that the Unchained cards have.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so it's really nuts. And since it's dark, it just falls it's just beautiful because it's fiend and you never get locked up. Because sometimes you do get locked up sometimes when you're playing the combos. So it's just nice that you can just kaiju while you're in mid combo.
All right, wow.
Yeah. For the Unchained engine, I run a 3 Aruha, 2 Rekia, and 1 Sarama. The Aruha is basically, if you have another card, you can just go full, you just go the essential the bread and butter combo for Unchained, which is really nice because it's a small combo that doesn't really get nibbed too often because it summons so little, but it does so much for you. This is the card that really goes live. Reiki is nice because usually you get a normal summon or you special summon it, but it's nice because if your other Unchained cards are trying to resolve effects and you get impermed, or if you get impermed, for example, you can actually use Reiki to tribute the monster, and then you can, because of the chain order, your effects still resolve.
Oh, so it dodges the imperm, right?
Yeah, it dodges the imperm. Also, what a neat interaction it has with Nibiru is that if you get Nibiru'd, you can pop the Rekia, right? And since you can only summon fiend monsters, how it works is that since Nibiru tries to resolve as much as possible, it tributes the entire field and you still get the free destroy, so you actually plus out of it. So it's essentially a free pop for everything.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah, so I didn't resolve it. In theory, though, it's really good, but I don't think I've ever resolved it with an attorney. And then the last card is Sarama. You have it once because you only want to really get it out of special summons, but sometimes normal summons okay. This card's really insane though, because once you resolve most of your Unchained traps or spells via popping it and getting your pluses off of that, you can reset those cards and just keep going, keep comboing off basically. So say like you use a card, you can reset that card and then save it for next turn or save it for your next interaction with your opponent, and your opponent like literally can't do anything about it because the cost is just targeting the Unchained card.
Wow.
So they have to.
So this card is essential for your grind game, then, is what you're saying?
Yeah, for sure. There's so many instances where I hard draw it or like a special summon it, and I can just start setting my trap cards again and then just going off again.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, I run one dog. It's kind of essential to have just to go into your Unchained links. It's okay to have in your hand. It's not the end of the world, but you'd rather special summon it from deck. You can get the link off if you resolve the effect, but mainly it's just used as a body to get into your links. And then I run 2 yellow guys, so 2 Abomination Unchained Soul. This is probably like the best card in the deck for sure.
Really?
What it does is that it's special when it special summons, you can discard, and it's a non-targeting pop. Yeah, destruction.
Oh shit! So it destroys anything on the field.
Yeah, it destroys anything on the field.
Okay.
And then the other effect is that if it gets destroyed via anything, at the end phase it special summons itself again, and then it just goes to the bottom deck when it dies again.
Oh,
so it's super nuts. It's also a soul name, so you can get into your links as well. The other broken thing about it is that if a card is destroyed that you control, it gets to special summon itself and do the combo. But the thing is that if you know how Gazelle works with the Signet combo, and how that the Gazelle does when it goes into hand, the Gazelle doesn't already sees that a card's going to the graveyard. The same thing happens with Soul. So there's often times where you'll pop one of your Unchained links, it adds a card to your hand. So you can add souls and then re-special summon souls on resolution.
Jeez, holy. So what? Any reason why you're not playing 3 of it? Is it just because it bricks at all? It could brick at all?
Yeah. So usually you want to either special summon it from your deck via like popping one of your cards on your opponent's turn. Okay. You rarely want to see it in your hand. Sometimes it comes clutch though in your hand though, because you can resolve it when they go into battle. So like on battle phase, they destroy one of your monsters. Then resolution, you can summon it and start popping.
Oh, okay.
But having 3 is a little too bricky unless you're trying to do like a level 8 engine as well.
Oh, okay.
For hand traps, I run 3 Ash and 2 Nibiru. Ash is pretty standard. It helps you slow down some of their cards, and Nibiru is nice because a lot of decks right now they don't run. They either like try to go full combo and hope that you don't have the Nibiru, or they just don't like. They just can't deal with Nibiru, and because of the Reiki interaction, it's really nice for this deck. I run 3 Abomination Prism. So like every Unchained second effect lets you special summon from deck. Prism is just another rota for it basically.
So basically, essentially 3 more copies of every Unchained monster you have?
Yeah, it's a 3 of. And then if you pop it, you get a free special.
Oh shit, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call by the Grave, which is standard. And then the new card that came out of Dawn of Majesty, like probably like one of the only good cards that came out of Dawn of Majesty, Live Twin Sunny Snitch, is basically a rota for the Live Twins. And then the second effect is that it helps for game 3 or going into time, is that for every card that's a normal or special by your opponent while you have a evil twin, you burn 200 and gain 200. So it helps sometimes in those sense. It's also a free card for your Ruha to pop so it can special summon itself because a Ruha,
effect, right?
Exactly.
Wow, okay.
I run 1 Wailing. Wailing is just there for another name to pop via your Unchained cards. But sometimes when you do link summon into your Unchained, it does resolve where you can pop stuff. But mainly is used to just resolve your effects. For traps, I have 3 Abomination Chamber of Abomination Chamber. What it does is that it just specials from hand or graveyard. And then it has the secondary effect of special summoning from deck. It's not a bad card to have. It's mainly there for the second effect, but sometimes you do get the first effect a lot. So in the grind game, you can special summon another soul and then have the soul do pops like that.
Okay. And then you could reset it if you need to with Sarama, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I have a light artifact engine, and artifacts work really, really well with this deck because since this deck is popping so much, if your opponent like ashes the Sanctum or doesn't let the Sanctum go through, you can always manually pop the Scythe yourself. Yeah. So you don't really have to like. I think there was a game where I went Rakia, and then I used quick effect to pop my own Scythe, and then Scythe resolved like that. So yeah, it's really nice.
It's insane, bro.
Yeah. I run 3 Escape of Unchained. This card's actually insane. It won me the top 8 game because game 1, my opponent runs Mystic Mine, and I had no out for it until I got this card. And what it does is that it pops 1 Unchained card, and then it pops another card on the field, and you pop both. After the pop, usually you pop an Unchained card, and since you're special summoning, you're mainly special summoning this guy. So what you can do is that you have Sarama, reset the escape, and then on your opponent's turn, if your opponent has two cards, you resolve it, pop the Sarama, pop their card, and a resolution you summon the soul and you pop another card. So you get a free pop.
Wow.
And Torrential Tribute, this card was really good. I resolved it almost every time, and almost every time like it was like a game ender basically for my opponent. What's nice too is that since it destroys all monsters on field, it triggers all the Unchained effects.
Okay, that's dope. Yeah, so it doesn't even like it's not even a hindrance to your deck basically.
No, it's actually a benefit. So what you can do sometimes is if you have full board with a Sanctum in a set, you can go chain 1 Torrential, chain 2 Sanctum, and then have the Scythe resolve, and then since they can't summon anymore, and then you resolve all your Unchained effects. For the last card, I run a 1 of Trap Trick, and this is probably like the MVP of the deck. Like this won me so many games. It's just so nuts because since these are normal spells, you can get them. And that's how I got into the Pop the Mystic Mine. Is because and the TC Boo too. There was someone who resolved TC Boo, and I used Trap Trick, and I popped it via that.
Jeez, okay. Yeah, having
so
an
that's
extra copy of any other trap you need is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's the best way to think about it. Like think of it like if when you get it, it's just a 4th copy of any of your traps. Yeah. And since all my traps are very like important to resolve for the most part, it's really nice to have.
Jeez, okay. Wow, that's it for the main deck. All right, 45.
That's it for the main deck. 45 cards. You could technically cut it down to 40 if you don't play hand traps or other cards, but I personally don't like 40 cards. It just feels too bricky for me, so I always play over. Fair and 45 seems like the best number, and I can always flex in side deck cards.
Okay, that's reasonable. I understand.
Yeah. Right. For extra deck, I play 3 Evil Twin Kisakil, 3 Leela. This is basically essential for any live twin deck. What's nice though is that once you get into the grind game, so you start summoning, you already resolved it once. When you summon another live twin and go try to make the evil twins, you already have them in graveyard, so you can just keep special summoning them. So you don't have to summon twice every turn. You probably summon like 1 and then special summon the other from the last time you summoned them.
Oh, so it's like a loop.
Yeah, so you can start looping a little bit. So with Kisakil, it's a quick effect. It lets you draw one if it's special, and Leela lets you pop one. And then since with Unchained, it just works really nice with Unchained. Okay, so half the time I pop, a lot of time I pop my own cards. So I pop my own side. Sometimes I pop my own like Unchained cards, just so they can have their effects resolved. Yep. I run a 1 IPM Escarena. In theory, this card's really good, just in case you like brick or just trying to get rid of the evil twin cards, so you can special summon them on your opponent's turn. But I never made it this tourney. I run Griffin, Phoenix, and Unicorn. This card's like borderline. Unicorn's like borderline insane because you get to link off their monsters and then summon Unicorn, so you're like plussing like crazy. And since how you position your evil twins, you'll always get the draw one.
Oh, the co-link. Yeah, so that's
yeah.
Dude, you're drawing insane in this deck, bro.
you draw so much to get into your side deck cards, which is important. And then Griffin, I never made it, but in theory it's really good. You can run certain decks where some people run IO, so you can get the IO out. But for me personally, I just run this just in case I ever need to. If there's any other tech options for side decking, I just can get them via Griffin. Nice. And then Phoenix is Phoenix. Like if you need to pop more, if my deck needs to pop more, then it's there.
It's true.
Yeah. For Unchained cards, I have Abomination, Anguish, and 2 Rage. Rage is pretty much the card you want to go into when you go into your Link 2. It link climbs with your opponent's card to make, for example, like any monster essentially. For the most part, you make Unicorn, so you can link off one of their cards and then spin another card. Or you can just link into the Link 3. The Abomination though is like one of your boss monsters, and it is crazy how good this card is. Basically, if any card's popped, you get to pop another card. If you destroy a card via battle, you get to pop another card. On end phase, you get to pop a card. So like it literally just gives you so much pluses because of how good it is.
You're not only popping 3, but you're plussing essentially all those pops as well.
You can force the pop, and since because usually when this comes on, you essentially break their board, in simplified game states where they do things like set one pass, on end phase you just pop their pass. You pop their set card, so then they basically have nothing for your next turn. For the last card, I have Underworld Goddess. In practice, this was used for like Dragoon or anything that like was a problem, but like in like when I actually used it within the tournament, you rarely get to use this card. I'd probably take it out for the new Evil Twin card that's coming out in one of the sets. I don't remember which set.
Burst of Destiny.
I think so. Yeah, the Link 4, because that's definitely going to be a lot better. But in theory, this was used just so you can link off even more with your opponent if you needed to. But the only problem is that since it's 4 effect monsters, it just uses too much resources, so you never get the chance.
What about the side deck? How was the side deck for you?
A lot of this was like, in theory, really good. Again, like it basically like I came into this tournament with like no practice. Like the only practice I'd done was like maybe like 1 or 2 test hands, and then just just thinking of it in my head of like how I remember Yu-Gi-Oh being, and I'm just like I think this deck is pretty good for what the meta is looking like, for what I've seen at least.
Okay, so yeah, your side deck was basically just a meta call from what you remember.
Yeah, as from what I remember and from the very smidges of what I've seen from how the meta is right now. So I run 3 Lancia, 3 D shifters. D shifters just used for any graveyard decks because I've heard there's a lot more graveyard decks relevant. And also your deck doesn't, and it's really good because Unchained cards don't care if they get lands in the banish or graveyard or anywhere rather. It only cares that it gets destroyed, so it doesn't care where it lands. So you can run D shifters and not even mind what's happening. And then Lance is really good because in virtual matchup, banish matchups, you can resolve it and then they can't do anything. And also because since you run Sanctum, you can also special summon Lancia off of it. You essentially have like five ways of getting into, or 6 ways because of trap trick, 6 ways of getting into Lancia. You run the single link reveal for dinosaur matchups because I really hate the Lost World token, so I just link it off for link reveal and just go combo.
Right.
Yeah. 3 Dark Ruler no more because there's certain decks that when they finish their board, they just have really strong effects, but they can't really do anything when you Dark Ruler them. So yeah, I run those. I never got to them, but in theory they're really good.
Okay.
And then for back row hate, I have 1 Harpies, 3 Twin Twister, and Red Reboot. The Twisters is for IO, so if I ever get IO'd, not that this deck cares, but like sometimes I want my spell cards to resolve, or sometimes they have a really problematic floodgate. I have the Twin Twisters, and I can also pop my own spell traps, so I can get plus off that. Red Reboot is just a classic trap card hate. And then Harpy's Feather Duster, I'll be honest, I couldn't think of a last card, and I just got a DT one, so I was like, whatever, I'll just get the DT. I'll just use the Harpy's Feather Duster.
Have you ever thought about putting in Pankratops at all?
So I was thinking about Pankratops in the side. Because Pankratops is really good going second, just for any deck in general since it's so generic. And B, if you really need to, you can pop the IO via that or pop your own card. So yeah, I've definitely thought about it. I just couldn't find my Pankratops at the time.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, thank you, David. I appreciate it, bro. Congratulations on top 3.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Any last shoutouts you want to do before we head off with the video?
Shout out to the crew. These guys, they actually I was going the tournament out of a whim just because I haven't played in so long, and they turned out to be themselves really nice. Shout out to all my opponents. You guys are really nice, and yeah, thanks guys.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you, David. And if you guys did enjoy the deck profile, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Huge shout outs to David. And again, congratulations. Thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when you upload a video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.